say, man, I don't know her. She's too quiet.
What up, though? It's your girl, She's Too Quiet, and welcome back to the She's Too Quiet podcast. This podcast is for the ones who've been overlooked, underestimated, or simply too quiet for the noise of this world. I'm Tenia, a fellow introvert and woman of faith, inviting you to find strength in stillness, clarity in solitude, and purpose in your quiet voice. Every episode, you'll hear reflections, devotions, and quiet confessions that remind you don't have to be loud to be powerful. And if you're listening, you're already a part of the Quiet Power Club, a space where we celebrate gentle strength and the God who meets us in the silence. Let's get into it. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. I hope all is well with you. We have officially made it to the end of the week. I know it's been a minute, but I'm happy to be back on the podcast. I stepped away to touch some grass. It's very important nowadays to disconnect and experience more life. I know, especially for me, sometimes you can feel like you're in a rush to start talking about everything that happens in life, but sometimes you need a pause. You need a pause in between events. You need a pause in between, moving from one thing to the next. It is very healthy, and I encourage you to take pauses when you need it. Again, welcome back. I am really glad to be back. All right. Let me give you a little recap of some things that I've been getting into. Oh, wait. For the new people that's just listening today for episode 1 of season 3, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this podcast as much as I do. And I hope you can take away some nuggets to keep in your back pocket and pull it out whenever you need it. All right. So back to what I was saying. I'm going to recap with you a little bit of the things that I've been getting into while I was away. As I mentioned before, I wanted to get into some different side quests as well as reconnect with God. That's always very important, especially if you ever feel called to do so. Listen to that pull. So let me tell you one of the things I did. There was a period of time where we had prayer revival at my church. I was waking up to be at church for 5 a.m. prayer for a period of 6 days. I ain't gonna hold you. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to do spiritually. But I am so happy I did it. I was there every single day. I did not miss a day. And it has done wonders for me that go beyond the 6 days, Very life-changing, very difficult. And y'all, it's not like I was getting up and then praying at the house. Y'all, I had to get up, get dressed, go to the car, drive to church, drive back, and then go to work. Wild, okay? But if you ever get that opportunity, I encourage you to do it. And the thing I want to highlight is don't stop. Don't give up. You will be greatly rewarded for pressing through. Another thing, I am a movie lover, so I did see 2 movies while I was away. The first movie I saw was called Solo Mio. This was kind of like a lighthearted movie with one of my favorite sitcom actors, Kevin James. For those who are listening, if you have ever seen King of Queens, that is one of my favorite sitcoms. He's the main character, and he actually produced this movie, so I wanted to go support. Again, very good movie. It was set, I think, in Rome. I also saw The Drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Definitely an interesting movie. I love when movies kind of get you thinking, and that whole movie I'm kind of like, man, how would I feel? What would I do? How would I act? And surprisingly, the movie was very funny. It had a lot of comedic relief in it. Definitely a good watch if you're interested in like that kind of vibe. So I did that. I hung out with some different people. I went to go make some perfume. I'm trying to really grow my community here where I am now. For those that don't know, I'm kind of like a transplant. I was in San Antonio. Now I'm in Dallas, so I'm still trying to build my little community, if you will. So yeah, I had a lot of fun just trying to get out and about. Another thing I did, I got my BLS certification. Previously in the past, I worked as I would say like more in direct patient care. And so I had to have my BLS, and I let that go once I switched to administration. But now I joined the health and wellness team at my church. So I had to get recertified in that and redo that. I'm loving it so far. I had my first day of orientation last Sunday. I think it really aligns to who I am becoming in this season. All in all, I've really been learning about myself and just trying to grow. I mean, I've been setting my boundaries. I've been paying attention to what I need and what I don't need. And it's interesting because I feel like it's kind of a quiet kind of growth. I feel like it can be easily overlooked if you're not intentional about recognizing it. So, yeah, essentially that's what I've been up to. So, today's episode, I really want to get into growth. And what I really want to express is that you have to have the courage to keep going even if things become uncomfortable. So every episode I have a quiet confession, and this is something as a quiet person that is definitely hard to express to people from time to time. We are definitely closed in. We don't like sharing our thoughts and feelings. Hence my hardship with podcasting sometimes, but we grow in, right? What do you have a hard time doing? If you have a hard time doing something, try to do it. Just push past it and try to do it and see how you feel. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. My quiet confession for today is that this podcast has honestly been the biggest weight I've had in my life. I hope it don't sound too dramatic, but for real, it's been heavy. It has been a weight. Now, have you had something like that? Something that just keeps calling you and calling you. You try to ignore it. You try to run from it. You try to stay busy so you don't see it, but it never really goes away. What is that thing for you? And are you doing it, or have you stopped? There were moments where I didn't want to show back up to the podcast. I know that at the end of season 2, I had planned on doing season 3, but I just didn't really feel ready or confident. And I think, honestly, that's the part that we don't talk about enough. We say we want to grow. Growth is so beautiful, but it can also feel like a nightmare. I mean, you're being stretched, you're uncomfortable, it's awkward, you're like in this weird in between space. You feeling me? You know what I'm talking about? And trying to navigate through this space, I have learned that my opinion about whatever I am tasked to do by the Lord is not up for discussion. It's not about my opinion. It is an assignment. In this day and age, you start to feel like everything is optional. You start to feel like you can question every little bitty thing, but come to find out, there are some things that is just non-negotiable, especially when it comes to what you're burdened with. And so my question to you is, what will you do? One of the things that I heard said in church was that sometimes the things that burden you and weigh you down a lot, that may be the very thing you're called to. The choice is ours. As we know, God gave us free will, and it's always a choice. I feel like this podcast is my test of obedience. I don't have it all together. Sometimes I don't want to start because of that, but I think God is just telling us we need to be obedient. Are you willing to try? And I'm telling you, this from experience. Willingness is going to cost you comfort. But on the positive side, comfort would never grow you in ways that obedience can. How much do you want to grow? Now, let's anchor this thought in scripture. The scripture that I specifically want to hone in on is Exodus chapter 4, verses 10 through 13. Now, I'm not going to read all of it, but basically, let me give you the cliff notes. So, your boy Moses tells God that he's not a good speaker, he's not eloquent in speech, and he's slow with his words, right? So he's trying to deny the call. And God responds to him and says, "Who made your mouth? Now go and I'll help you speak and teach you what to say." God checked him and was like, "Hey, I made you, my guy. You can't just say no and think that that's going to slide with me. And then after that, Moses still hesitates. He said, "Please send someone else." Who has said that before? Definitely me. I don't know if there's too many days that go by that I don't say that. Truth be told, but that's the part that really stood out to me because Moses didn't suddenly become confident. He didn't magically feel qualified, but God still chose him. God didn't choose him after he improved. God didn't choose him after he got his plan together. God didn't choose him after he rehearsed over and over and over again and felt like he was ready to go. It wasn't because he was polished. It was just because God chose him. And that's the truth I want you to sit with today. Maybe your assignment isn't to become louder, especially as a quiet person. Maybe your assignment isn't to be more confident or more put together, but maybe it's simply to become more willing. Be more willing to show up. Be more willing to grow, willing to move, even if you don't feel ready. So I do have a few prompts for you to think about today when you have some free time. So my first prompt for you today is, what has been growing in you that nobody else has seen? I'm talking about growth that hasn't been posted. It's not something that you've proven to somebody, and it's not something people have applauded you for. What has actually changed in you? This could be maybe your mindset, your boundaries, your discipline, your faith. Just think about that. Also, another question is, are you giving that growth the credit it deserves? I know sometimes we put in so much work that we don't have a chance to step back and look at it and see how far we've come. Do you recognize that you're growing? I think sometimes that will put everything into perspective. It's like putting all the pieces of the puzzle together and you finally step back and look at the beautiful picture. Do you see the picture? Okay, this is just something to ask yourself, okay? And let me go ahead and throw in a bonus question for you. Where in your life is growth asking you to step outside your comfort zone right now? What in your life that you see needs to grow, but it may be uncomfortable? Are you willing to do that? Can you do uncomfortable things? When's the last time you practiced doing something uncomfortable? Thank you so much for sitting with me and spending a few quiet moments with me today. I really mean it. Thank you for coming back. I am excited about this season. And if you don't remember anything from today's podcast, I want you to remember that discomfort might not be a sign to stop. It may be confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. Now, I have a song before we go for you to look up, and I think it will fit perfectly with this episode. It's a little something you can, listen to, enjoy, and just sit with. It's called No Stages by Anthony, and Anthony is spelled Anthny. If this episode spoke to you, make sure you follow me wherever podcasts are found. Subscribe, stay connected. If you are listening to this podcast on a platform where you can rate the podcast, please, please, please rate it. As always, don't forget to do two things: that love God and love people. This is for the soft-spoken and deeply felt. Until next time, deuces.